Your coach has favorites. Even if they tell you, I don't have favorites, they have favorites. And it comes to no surprise that I too have favorites. Now, you want to be a favorite. You want to be in the good book. Coaches will be more willing to give you their time. They'll be more willing to give you feedback. And they'll show less frustration towards you when you be an idiot. Inevitably. So here are the do's and don'ts. When I was coaching really young players, one stood out to me, especially because after every single session, they would come up to me and say, hey, Artie, thanks for the session. Give me a bit of eye contact, a smile, and high five. It seems really simple, and it is. Even if you aren't grateful to the extent that you're on your knees praising your coach, saying thank you, even on your way out, is a surefire way to make sure your coach knows that you care and that what they're doing is making a difference somehow. Whether your coach is bad, good, or great, it never hurts to say thank you. Be grateful for the time your coach puts into your team. The players that are consistently my favorite to coach are those who are open, curious, and willing to try new things. When I ask a player, hey, can you try this instead? And they say, sure. And they try it. It really makes it easy as a coach and quite fun to see the difference between then and now. When I challenge these players, they don't get defensive and give me excuses. They say, sure, I'll give it a go. Be open to trying new things. Now remember, you only need to try them. You don't need to practice them every single second of the day. I'm only asking you to try. In every single team I've coached, there's always a mix of skill levels. There's someone at the very top who's usually a state level player, and somehow there's always someone at the bottom who happens to just be starting volleyball for the first time. When I was coaching a school team, this is exactly what happened. I had a literal state player that is destined for greatness in my team, while I also had 4 or 5 players who had never played volleyball before. What really resonated with me as a coach was this player cared for the new players. Every time they went for a serve and they tried something hard, they were there supporting them all the way, because they cared about them. When the new player saw the state player do an ace serve and said, oh my God, I'm never gonna be like you, they replied, hey, you're a beginner. I've been playing for a while. Keep doing your best. That sort of stuff warms my freaking heart. Show you care for others by considering them and supporting them. At the start of my coaching career, I was the head coach of a club team, an under-17 girls team. And that was wild, wicked, and fun. But it was also really hectic at times. Most of the girls on the team were fun, energetic, and loved volleyball. But they lacked one thing: the willingness to win. There was one player on my team that created a bit of tension because they cared about winning. They were a bit fiery. They were competitive. And because of this, they pushed others to be their best, which I believe is great for any team. This may be a bit of a preference because personally, I like stirring the pot and pushing people's buttons. So when I see other people do it, it's sort of like, damn, nice, keep that up. In this case, be willing to win, be willing to be competitive. Players who have fun are constantly players that I love to coach. There are times to be serious, there are times to be goofy, but I believe every time should be fun. Players that can laugh at themselves, encourage others through humor, and create a space of enjoyment are some of my favorite players to coach because they make it fun for the team and they also make it really fun for me. Time really flies when you have players having fun and encouraging others to have fun. Those are things you can do that will instantly make your coach say, holy moly, macaroni, thank you for this beautiful day, because I have players that care, that love, that have fun. And that's honestly a dream come true for coaches. But here are the things on the other side of the spectrum that definitely will make your coach say, oh my God, why does this training session feel like it's taking forever? Number 1, entitlement. There have been literal players that have told me what to do. And not in the kind way, not in the asking way, in the go pick up those balls because I'm paying you to do this. or put this person on the team because they're my friend and I'm paying you to do this. It's this sense of entitlement that rubs me the wrong way and makes me feel really gross inside. It instantly puts a barrier up between me and that player because I really don't want to be around people that are like that. When players believe their needs are more important than their teams, that's when a real problem arises, and it makes it really hard for me to connect with that player. Don't think of what you deserve, think about what your team deserves. And your team deserves a considerate, caring, and kind player. Something that really grinds my gears as a coach is when players dismiss feedback. Whether that feedback be the best feedback in the world or something small, if they dismiss it, it really frustrates me because most players, actually all players, come to training to get better. That's the point of training. That's the point of practice. So when they have feedback served to them on a silver platter and they say, yeah, whatever, that really frustrates me. Yes, I know it's not their responsibility to take on every single thing in a session, but to dismiss feedback from either players or coaches, it really shows me that you don't want to get better and you don't even want to be here. Try and put your ego aside and listen to your coach, at least respond to them in a respectful way. After all, your coach wants you to succeed. At least try it, and then if it doesn't work, try your own thing. I can handle players that have anger issues. I can handle players that feel deep shame about failing, so they're scared to give it a shot. I can even handle depressed players that don't want to be there. But I can't handle players who are indifferent to the sport. Being indifferent means you just don't care. You have no opinion. You often just check out, who cares? Think of it like the opposite of passion. People who are indifferent are impossible to coach and make it extremely hard. Training sessions feel like they drag on for hours and hours and hours because they just don't care. I think the number one cardinal sin of being a player in a training environment with a coach is to really not care, or even worse, put on a fake mask that shows that you don't care. It really frustrates me when you can tell someone wants to get better, but they act a little too cool. I'm too cool for this, I'm not trying. Ooh, that hurts. As a coach, I get a lot of fulfillment out of seeing people progress from here to there. When you take that opportunity away from me, it becomes really hard for me to want to help. And I probably would prefer to ignore you in the future. Care. Literally, just care. I know it takes a lot of vulnerability at times, but for your coach's sake, care. I hope this helps. I hope this creates a better and stronger relationship between you and your coach. If you can at least take on one of the positive behaviors and let go of one of the negative behaviors, you will see differences in the way your coach treats you. If you want to support the channel, I've got merch. It's the Club Arty line, baby. I've tried really hard on the design, and I've also made it so when you wear it, you wear the values of Club Arty. Be kind, be additive, and be a learner on your back. Hopefully that supports you to not only become a stronger player, but also become a stronger person. Are there any other behaviors that you think a coach would really appreciate you having, or any other behaviors you think coaches may really, really hate? Tell me down there. Go Jordy!